I went to high school in Westchester. So I'm from the west side of Chicago. I'm probably one of 5 West Siders in the entire high school. It's like a suburb. It's a pretty diverse school, so it's like 30% black, 30% white, 30% Hispanic, maybe 10% Asian. It's, it's a nice mix of everybody. So you get all of these backgrounds and all of these cultures. To get to my high school, I had to take 3 buses from the west side. So it was like real crazy just to see like all of these other cultures. Like that was the first time I was really introduced to being outside of the west side. It was cool. I think that's one things that had a long-term effect on my music, because it made me realize that like there are other people who like rap, not just people on the west side of Chicago. Like it broadened the sound, I guess, in a sense. Like it made me realize like all of these people like music too. It's not just your niche, what you're used to, basically. The commute to school is where I wrote majority of my songs. Like it was like, I think an hour and a half basically to get to school every morning. I think being at a diverse high school helped open my eyes to see that not everybody likes the same shit. It's like I was always like, well, black people like rap and white people like rock. So and that was like always my like head growing up. And then it's like as I got to high school, it's like, wait, black people like rock and white people like rap. I got introduced to like a bunch of stuff, and then like being at home, like that's around the time where like it's like everything is kind of standing out to me in a way that it never did. So like all of the jazz records and stuff that like my granddad would play become different to me. It's like this is different music, because prior to that, black people like rap, white people rock, old people like jazz. So it's like I never, like it was like real a closed-mindedness to everything basically. And when I got to high school, it's like I realized like, man, this shit is tight. Like I see why they like it, and I tried to understand like the good in like different kinds of music. I think one of the best records that I got introduced to is this band. They're called The Drums. The name of that album is Portamento. And they have this song called Money. And it was crazy. Like, it's the simplest shit in the world. I want to buy you something, but I don't have any money. And it's like just the relatableness of music. It's like it kind of like made like my best friends. And it's like who can't relate to that? Like the hoodest niggas in the world could be like, I want to buy you something, but I don't have any money. It's just once that ear is open, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like all it is different instruments making a song. But subject matter, I think a lot of the songs are like really similar. In high school, this white kid introduced me to Yellow Wolf. And I listened to probably like 2 entire mixtapes from him before I knew he was white. So I'm listening to this dude and I'm like, man, this is tight. And then he's like, oh yeah, he showed me like an album cover, and I'm like, wait, that's him? So it's like, it's crazy, like the relatableness and how similar like our lives are, like even though, we're from different places. Like all these kids are from Westchester. Westchester's like, most of their families are at least like well-to-do. So like my locker is by like a rich kid. It just kind of like broadened the horizon, like of just how I think. Like it's like all of these people are from different places. I'm poor as hell. I'm from the west side of Chicago. Like I'm from the hood. Like none of them have ever even been there. They're scared to go there. But we can all relate to like similar topics. Like, and it just kind of made me realize like music is for everybody. It's not just made for one person to like. Like it's crazy. Like a Eazy-E record. The people who relate to an Eazy-E record. Big titty, shitty, bang, bang, sitting on a dick. Like, what? So I think, yeah, it just helped me, like, it cultured myself and humbled myself to know that it kind of predicted the future. It's like, man, like, you're going to make some shit, or you're going to play a show and you're going to be surprised by what the crowd looks like. Like, we played in Iowa. we're the only black people when we play in Iowa. But they still, you know, can relate to the music and they still sing along and they still, you know, they still fuck with the movement basically. I think the reason I was really influenced by like certain people like Crucial Conflict and Twista was like the cadences. A lot of their flows were just new, like to music, not just to rap, but like music in general. It's like the multi-syllabic approach was just something, you know, as a kid that I had never heard. And it was like, instead of studying for tests, we studying like how to like in a mirror and shit. Like Lupe was actually like probably my favorite rapper. Like when he first came out, like before I really got into rap, I was producing, but before I was like really rapping, I was like just a Lupe stan. Because he was a nerd and I was a nerd, so I thought it was cool that there was a nerd rapper.
The sound was terrible, just constantly, like people in the crowd was like, ah, ah. I stopped the music and said, can everybody in the room head to the bar? And I stood on top of the bar and did the rest of my set.
When we put up to his house, we was like, we look at each other like, oh fuck, we are really at Rick Rubin's house. Like, I still have the water bottle that he gave me, that I drink all the water out of. The water just tasted different. I've had moments where I was just like, fuck it, man, I'm in debt, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get a job, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta stop with the music, you know what I'm saying? I've had plenty of moments like that, but honestly, this is what I'm passionate about, and what is success without struggle?
I walk into that space expecting for people to be real and honest and genuine and not treat me like another number and not treat me like another plays and not treat me like another, you know what I'm saying? But that's exactly how they treated me, and that's my own fault for assuming that they wouldn't.